I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to the final video I'll be making on the Summer Heat Bruno Fernandes cards. The 90 rated player of the month. I did a video on this morning. It was kind of a review of the card for those who were just willing to go to 5 wins and stop there. But it was also a little discussion about the objective. The next one, of course, is the 94. We've done that already. That's on the channel. So if you want to see what you get for the very end of that objective, or this objective rather, then go check that out. In this video, I'm not just going to review the 91, but I'm going to talk about the 92 as well, because I'm not going to do a dedicated video to the 92, but I just don't see the point. You know, there's only a +1 stats difference between the 91 and the 92, so in my opinion, it would just be me rinsing it. To be honest, you might consider this rinsing it, and that's fine, but if you are willing or thinking about stopping at the 91 or the 92, I'm going to give you some indication as to how much better the 94 is, how much better the 91 and the 92 is than the player of the month, and we'll just talk about that in general. 4-star, 4-star, of course, we don't have the 5-star weak foot that the 94 has, and this goes the same for the 92. The high work rates are still there, lean body type, 5'10", we know all about that. 91 acceleration and 87 sprint speed on the 91. Now, for, like I said, the 92, it is literally a +1 across the board, apart from stamina, which can't go up because it's already at 99. So everything that I say, if you want to know what the 92 is, just add 1. That's as simple as that. 84 agility, 85 balance is a little bit on the lower side for a sort of high-end card. The 94 has +4. We already know what the 92 has, and even though the mid 80s for agility and balance isn't necessarily good reading, the rest of his stats make up for it. He is lean, which it obviously helps big time, and I don't know what it is, but he just fits the meta of the game really well. There are a lot of cards in FIFA, well, not a lot, but there are a few cards in FIFA that just fit the meta of the game, whichever version you're using. Ben Yedder, for example, played a guy earlier today with the 94, who was using a normal Ben Yedder because he was going after the Mendy objective, I think it was, where you had to score a certain amount of goals with whatever player that Ben Yedder fits the bill of, and he was, wouldn't say tearing me a new one, but he was getting a lot of joy with him. And even now, those cards fit the game so well that they're still usable. The 85 Footmas Mendy, for example, is still very usable, even though he's only 85 rated. So the fact that this is 91 rated means that you are still going to be able to get an awful lot of enjoyment out of it. You've probably unlocked the 90 player of the month by now. If you've watched all 3 Bruno Fernandes videos, you've probably unlocked the 90. And therefore you are thinking, well, okay, I've got the 90. Is there actually any point in me playing the games, building the team dedicated to this 91 to get it? To be honest, in my opinion, yes, I think so. If There are a few conditions. If you're not playing Weekend League, for example, maybe you've decided that you've had enough and you're not playing it anymore, the rewards are not really there, then yeah, I think so, because I would say, what else are you going to do? But there are other games, I'm aware of that, you probably have other things to do, but if you are willing to play FIFA and you don't want to play Weekend League, in my opinion, it is a very good idea to go from the 90 to the 91. And then, of course, comes the 92, which we'll talk about in a second. The 91 itself is a very good, capable card. I've got an artist on him because I knew I wouldn't be using him for more than, say, 10, 12 games. I just, it was just a case of trying to get what I needed to sort of move on to the next. So I knew he wouldn't be in the club for too long, because obviously, if you're going to go all the way to the 94, you don't need the 90, 91, 92. They are essentially SBC fodder now. So the 91 and the 92 will probably go into an icon, and then the 90 will more than likely go into whatever crazy SBC EA drop over the next day or two. So yeah, there are definitely reasons to go beyond the 90, in my opinion, but it does come down to only if you have time to do so. I don't think going from the 90 up to the 92, especially going from the 90 to the 91, is really worth it in terms of like your time. If you are playing Weekend League, it's a lot of FIFA to play. You do have 20 23 days or something like that to actually, go for this. So I think over time, if you are willing to play maybe with a few different players in your club that you would normally play with, maybe you don't have a Premier League team, that is obviously going to cause you a few issues. But if you've got, if you play a fair few games of FIFA a week or what have you, playing a team that is sort of built for the objective isn't a bad idea, because you will unlock that 91 just over time. You are more than likely to complete whatever objective there is in amongst playing the games with Bruno Fernandes, just from naturally doing it without even thinking about it. And then, of course, up to the 92, again, basically the same thing. Whether you'll play enough games over the course of the next 23 days without actively going for it, I'm not sure. Obviously, only you know that and how often you play this game. But I definitely think you can obtain this naturally, the 91 in particular. Now, is there any point going from the 91 to the 92? The strange thing is, yes, I think there is a point, and I think that you're either going to be one of three people. You are either going to be, I'm stopping at the player of the month and I just want that 90 rated card, whether it be for an SBC or whether it be to use is obviously up to you. That's person number one. Person number two is going to go all the way. Person number two just wants everything. They want all the Mendy's, they want all the Bruno Fernandez's, maybe they've done Kessie as well. Basically me. So as soon as it comes out, you just want to grind it, you want to get it done, and there it is, it's done. Then you've got your third type of person, which, in my opinion, I mean, you may argue that you're not this guy and you are going to stop at the 91, but I think that the third type of person is the type to go, I've got the 90, I might as well get the 91, because it's only, playing a set number of games, because I'll do the rest of it naturally. And then you get there and you go, well, I might as well get the 92, because again, it's only playing games. There's only a few other things I've got to do in amongst that, but essentially it's play games. I can lose as many as I want, right? And then you'll stop. And that's the third type of player. And I think the reason for that is the win condition. The win condition from the 92 to the 94 will put a lot of people off because they can't be bothered. And I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing to be thinking. What a goal that is, by the way. A lot of people tell me that team of the season, Heung-min Son, just isn't good enough. And he's awesome. I just don't get it. He fits the game so well. 5-star weak foot. It's just brilliant. Anyway, with that being said, this isn't a Son review. This is a Bruno Fernandes review. Yes, so I think there are three type of people. Stop at the 90, stop at the 92, go for the 94. I don't think anyone is stopping on that 91. Not intentionally anyway. I think you might do, but you've run out of time or what have you. I think it's definitely worth going for the 91, definitely. But then you kind of have to go for the 92. So then you've got a 90 and a 91 you can chuck into an SBC. And this card, let's just assume we're talking about the 92 for a second. This card is a very good, capable card that you can use probably until the end of the game, because he fits the meta so well. Some of the stats that don't necessarily come up to standard, the sprint speed a little bit on the low side, the mid agility and balance stats, he doesn't quite have the 5-star weak foot. The finish in itself is good for the most part, but of course is only 84. The positioning, with the high defensive work rate, if you do play him as a cam, you can now and again run into a few issues, but for the most part, 88 positioning should be okay. So with the 91, that's obviously with his stats, and the 92 basically exactly the same, but with a +1. I think either of them you'd be okay to stop at. I wouldn't really begrudge anyone stopping at either of them. I think you've got really good cards there. But I don't see the point in stopping at the 90, really. I think you need to go on and get one of these. You need a Summer Heat Fernandes of some description. Just a nice little kicker. The 92 over the 90, there is a noticeable difference. The 91 over the 90, it's minimal at best. Maybe now and again you'll catch a glimpse of positioning power, or maybe an extra bit of acceleration or something. But from the 90 to the 91, I don't really feel too much. From the 90 to the 92, there is a difference. You can feel it for sure. He's just a little bit crisper, a little bit sharper. And then, of course, from the 92 to the 94, there is a world of difference. The 94 is, of course, much better, and he feels much better as well. So there we go. What do you guys think of the Bruno Fernandes objective? I have really enjoyed it. I think the not lack of, the amount of games and wins compared to Mendy is nice. It's a little bit less, which is good. and you get a really good endgame card. I mean, the fact that you get a 94 at the end of it is fantastic, but the fact that you get to pick up a 90, 91, and 92 to then use in SBCs, you are essentially picking up, in those 3 cards alone, you're picking up, you know, over 200,000 coins worth of player. Maybe even more than that. I'm not quite sure what the prices of players are right now. But in my honest opinion, it's definitely worth picking up at least one of them. And if you are going to pick up the Player of the Month, I think going to the 92 is definitely worth it. Let me know what you think of the objective in the comments. If you have enjoyed the review, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.